My name is Syesha Mercado. I was on American Idol season 7, and I was the last woman standing. A lot of hard work, but dreams do come true. And I'm working really hard right now. I have a single coming out next month. I just finished my first major motion picture, and I was playing the lead character. And I also did Dreamgirls. Are you guys familiar with the movie Dreamgirls? No? Well, it's a musical, and it's based on music from the 60s, and I was playing Dina Jones, which is also the role that Beyonce played in the movie. So I did that for a year and a half, and now I was invited by everybody to come out and just talk to you guys about bullying. So I just want to know, I have a question. Has anyone here been affected by bullying? Do you know a bully? Has someone bullied you before? Raise your hands. Wow, a lot of people. I'm sure you guys have a lot of stories to share. Well, I personally, I was bullied in elementary school, middle school, and high school. In elementary school, it was a little bit different. I had a bully. It was actually like my friend. She was really, really mean to me, and actually, going into high school, we stopped being friends because I realized that, if someone's being mean to me, they don't deserve my friendship. And instead of having to take all those negative comments, I just kind of separated ways with her, and I realized that, there's people out there who respect me and who like me for who I am. And you have to understand that if someone's being mean to you, or if they're talking bad about you behind your back, that's not a friend. And the best thing to do that I've learned is if someone's hurting your feelings or doing mean things, just go to them and talk to them and be honest and just say what's on your heart. I would go to her. I was trying to save our friendship, and I would go to her and I would say, you're making me feel really sad. Like, why are you doing this? Did I do something wrong to you? And if that doesn't help, you can always go to somebody, whether it's your school deputy, a teacher, a counselor. There's always someone out there who is willing to listen to you and understand what you're going through. And just always know that change will come, but you always have to do your part and respect people, because you never know what kind of day someone's having. You don't know if they just lost a family member, if something bad happened to them in their family, if they're dealing with personal issues. So sometimes you might say mean things. You might be the bully yourself and not even realize it, but everyone is different, and we all have feelings. And when you hurt someone's feelings, it doesn't feel good, does it? So you wouldn't want to be that person. So I've always learned to just respect people and be nice to them, because when you respect people and you're nice to them, what happens? Exactly. And then there's no such thing as bullying. So that's the goal, to respect people. And if someone's not respecting you or they're not nice to you, they don't deserve to be your friend. Go with someone, surround yourself around a group of people who appreciate you, who love you for who you are, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you act. And there's somebody out there for everybody. Friends, they come in all different shapes and sizes. We all talk differently, and there's a friend out there for you. So there's always hope, and just block out all the negative comments. You stay focused, because when I was in school, I was around a lot of theater kids. I love theater, and I wasn't the best dressed. I had crazy curly afro hair, and sometimes I got picked on just for being different. But sometimes when you're different, that's what makes you unique and special. There's nobody in this world that has your DNA. There's nobody in this world that has your fingerprints, that has your heart, your mind, and your spirit. So that alone makes you special, and that makes you unique. And at the end of the day, when you go home and you look in the mirror, is that bully looking in the mirror? Who's looking in the mirror? Yeah, so the most important opinion is the one that you have of yourself. So I want to let all of you know that dreams come true and anything is possible. And if there's somebody who is against you, block them out and stay focused and stay determined. That's what I did, and look where I am now. And all those people who were mean to me and calling me names and talking bad about me, they're no longer in my life. And actually, guess what? They're trying to be my friends right now. So you don't need those type of people in your life. Now I just kind of want to open the floor to some questions. I mean, not questions, just anything you want to share. If you've been bullied, if you know someone who's been who's been bullied, if you want to share any stories that you think might help somebody else, or if you want to share something to get advice, because we've all been through it.
I just got braces a couple days ago, and some people have been teasing me because I have railroad tracks on my mouth and I'm a tin can.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it doesn't make me feel any better, and it doesn't certainly make my day any brighter.
Well, I think you have a beautiful smile, and you should keep smiling and ignore all those people who are saying mean things about you because, like I said, their opinion really doesn't matter. And eventually, your braces will be off, and you will love your smile even more than you do already. See, look at that. Doesn't she have a beautiful smile, guys? That's one of my things I always say. Keep smiling. As long as you love yourself, that's all that matters. That's all that matters, girl. You're beautiful. What's your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. What do you want to share with us?
Last year I got bullied because of my brother because he split his head open and everybody was making fun of him and they were telling me, and it made me feel a little bit sad because instead of saying something nice about him, they were making fun of him.
What is it like now?
It's better because he's safer and he doesn't split his head open or anything now.
That's good. I'm happy for your brother. Did you, when people were saying all those mean things, did you feel afraid to speak up for him?
Yes, and I just tried to ignore him.
Did you ever say anything to them?
No.
Did it stop?
Yes.
How did it stop?
Nothing else happened.
See, sometimes it subsides, but everybody deals with different situations. In this case, it just kind of went away on its own. Even though she didn't like the things that people were saying about her brother, she ignored it, and guess what? It went away. Sometimes when you give a bully attention, they like it, and they keep saying mean things to you, or they keep doing things to you that are very, very mean. But sometimes you just have to ignore them and it'll go away because sometimes people just want attention or they crave things that they don't get from home. So when they come to school, they try to say mean things about other people to feel good about themselves. So really, it had nothing to do with your brother, but it went away eventually. I'm happy for your brother. Hello, I like your pants.
I was in this neighborhood. There's a lot of kids in my neighborhood who make fun of me because they say that my fingers are nasty because, well, I like picking them a lot because I get nervous sometimes, and I don't really like it. So if I have my bike, I'll just bike as fast as possible, but it's kind of hard getting away from them.
Okay. How do we address this? We all have flaws. Everyone has flaws. No one is perfect. Sometimes when we're nervous, we do things, and maybe somebody doesn't like it. I deal with my nerves in a different way. You deal with your nerves in a different way. But it doesn't make you awkward. Everybody has something that they deal with, but doesn't mean that you're an outcast, or sometimes we want validation from people, but you have to, sweetie, you are beautiful, just so you know that. You are gorgeous, and you're such a sweetheart, and your smile is gorgeous, and know that you're beautiful, and you don't need validation from anybody. If you know within yourself who you are, your energy is gonna make all that go away. So you just ignore them and just let your light shine and be nice to them, and guess what? Somehow they're gonna come around and they'll start being nice to you, but you don't worry about that because you're beautiful. That's nothing. This is nothing. You're beautiful, okay? Give me a hug. I'm gonna sing a come because I felt like it was fitting since we're going to be talking about bullying today. Okay, here we go. This sound is really weird, but we're going to work it anyway. I was born by the river in a little tent, and oh, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it is. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die, 'Cause I don't know what's out there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change gon' come. Yes, I know a change gonna come. Thank you. All right. So I want to start out by asking you guys, how many people here are bullies? Oh, we got an honest crowd. That's great. How many people you know have been affected by bullying, or your friends, your family members? Well, over 50% of kids, high school, middle school, and elementary school, have been affected. Shh. We don't have much time, guys. I just want to talk to you really quick. Over 50% of kids in elementary school, middle school, and high school have been affected by bullying, and it's gotten a lot worse a lot worse since I've been in school. And the damages of it, I mean, it's very lasting. It lasts through your adulthood, and sometimes it just never goes away. It makes people feel insecure, self-conscious, depressed, and sometimes people even commit suicide. So I just wanted to address these issues and raise awareness. When I was in high school, I got picked on a lot because my hair was crazy. I wore Afro puffs. Yeah, that was just my thing. I wore my hair crazy and big. And most of the time, I went to school in my dance clothes because, yeah, I danced a lot and I was in the theater department. So I hung around a lot of kids who were either gay or lesbian. And where I come from in my community, I wasn't used to that, but I just knew they were cool and I wanted to hang around them. And they were my friends. And sometimes I was really embarrassed and ashamed to hang around them because every time I did, I got picked on because of the crowd, that I chose. And just going through all that just really helped me realize at the end of the day, as I got older and got more comfortable in my skin, I realized that the most important opinion is the one that I have of myself. Because when I get up in the morning and I look in the mirror, I don't see a bully. I don't see the person who was harassing me in high school. I see myself. And I have to accept myself and love the skin that I'm in, because if I don't accept who I am, no one else is. Don't you guys agree? Yeah. So I was just here to, share my story, and maybe you guys might have some stories that you want to share about bullying. I know with me, even when I did the Dreamgirls tour, I just recently got off a 1.5 year long tour, and even in my adulthood, I was challenged with a bully. She was so rude. She's a beautiful girl, very talented, and I'm like, why is she always getting on me, about things? And I just don't get it. She's talented herself. And I just confronted her one day, and she ended up crying. I didn't even realize she had so much going on inside of her that she was dealing with. So sometimes it has nothing to do with you when people, harass you or bother you about your appearance, about any of your talents you have, about the friends you hang around. Sometimes they're having trouble in their household, maybe in their family. They don't have control, they don't have any power, and they feel, helpless. So they come to school and they just find someone to pick on so they can feel better about themselves. So it really has nothing to do with you at the end of the day. So the best thing I've learned is to confront the person in a cool, calm, assertive way, and just address to them, the issues that are bothering you. And if you feel like you can't do that and you don't feel safe, your life is in danger, what I would do is report it. Report it to, your school deputy, a counselor, your parents, anybody you trust, your friends, and just be the best person you can be every day and send out positive energy and be kind and respectful. And it's very simple. We all know this. I'm standing here, telling you things you already know, but I'm just here to remind you. Just be respectful to people and be kind to them, because you can't expect to get respect back and kindness if you're not giving that out. So my sister graduated from this school, back way back when. But I'm just very happy to be here today and support the cause, and kind of speak about, bullying and, the effects that it can have on people, and just I just want you guys to be aware that sometimes, like, you think you don't hurt people's feelings, but sometimes you just, might say something and somebody's having a really, really tough day, and you just never know how your actions or your words, oh, thank you. You just never know how your actions or your words affect people. Some people are really sensitive. I know I'm really sensitive. So growing up, when people would say like small things to me, sometimes it affects other people, but other people it doesn't. For me, I was affected by any little thing. But in high school, I had 3 older sisters, but I didn't go to school with them. They were older than me. So 2 of my sisters, they went to school together. The other sister went here. So I was at Booker all by myself. And I was a theater kid. So I was always in musicals and doing extracurricular activities. And I didn't really have siblings to kind of support me and like fight for me if somebody was all in my face. So I was just kind of by myself. And I was in the theater department, so a lot of my friends were either gay or lesbian, and they would get picked on all the time. And being a freshman in high school, like going into something so new where I come from, like I grew up in church, and the pastor's always preaching about all this kind of stuff, and I wasn't really used to that lifestyle, but I knew they were my friends and I loved them for who they were. But sometimes I would be embarrassed or ashamed to hang out with them because I would get picked on. And not just for hanging out with them, but just the way I dressed. Like I had Afro puffs in my hair, and I really didn't have a great sense of style, so I would get picked on a lot, and people would call me like outcast and stuff. So I really know what it feels like to be, picked on and bullied, and it doesn't feel good because the effects are like, they go all the way into adulthood. And if you're not strong enough, and if you don't believe your worth, if you don't know your worth, sometimes it can really get you down. So I just want to let all of you guys know that it's important to always be kind, always be courteous to people, because you just never know what they're going through. And just embrace yourself and love yourself for who you are. Whether you have straight hair, curly hair, if you like to wear high heels or flip-flops, whatever it is, just embrace who you are and know that there's nobody in this world like you. There's nobody that has your DNA. There's nobody that has your heart, your look, and that alone makes you unique and special. So if you're getting picked on because of who you are, I would just say the best thing to do if you're getting bullied is, if you know that your life isn't going to be in danger, I've always found out that it's better to just confront the person, because sometimes that person might have gone through a really rough childhood, and the reason they're being mean to you is because someone at home is being mean to them, or they're getting picked on, and it makes them feel a little bit better if they're mean to you. So just confront them. Like I confronted a bully once. Actually, recently, I was doing Dream Girls, and there was one particular girl in the cast who was so mean to me. If things didn't go right, she'd lash out on me and say really mean things. And I was like, why is she so mean to me? And I was like, okay, I know the solution. Let me just talk to her. So I went and I talked to her, and I was like, you know what? I really don't appreciate the way you've been talking to me. It doesn't make me feel good. Can you just try to be a little nice? Like, you hurt my feelings when you say these things. And, I'm like in my 20s, and I'm still like affected by, people's comments or bullying. Everybody goes through it. And she ended up crying. She just started crying. And this petite young girl, like, she was bullying me, and I just confronted her, and we ended up like just hugging it out, and just, it was all done. So I think one solution would be to confront the person who is giving you problems. If you feel like maybe it's too much, if you feel like you're going to be in danger, maybe just talk to someone that you feel comfortable with, that you can trust, and that also helps too. What is a big issue that you feel is happening in high school right now in 2011 that you probably want to share that might help someone concerning bullying? Black shirt. All right, let's listen up. Let's see what he has to say.
I feel drugs are a problem in school.
Drugs are a problem in school. Wow, I did not know that. Okay, so that, I can add to that. One second, I can add to that. That has something to do with bullying. Sometimes people don't just have to physically, it's not just about bullying physically. Sometimes people, it can be peer pressure, And that's a form of bullying. Like someone might bring something that they ain't supposed to bring to school, whatever it might be, I don't know, but drugs, and they might try to pressure you into taking those drugs. And this would go along with your crowd, who you hang out with, and your ability to resist temptation. How many people have been tempted like before? I mean, just tempted. I've been tempted before for things. We've all been tempted, but you have to know that with every decision you make, if it's a bad decision, there's a consequence. Whether it's going to jail, whether it's getting kicked out of school, being suspended, there's consequences, and you have to understand that, yeah, it might be tempting and it might be great, but you have to resist that. And I've always found that, I mean, I've done a lot, like there's still a lot that I have to accomplish in my career, but what has helped me is my crowd that I hang out with. It's always great to have people who support you and who believe in you, and it's great to hang out with people who help you to be better. And if someone is like tempting you to do drugs, you don't need to hang out with them, because sooner or later the goals that you want to accomplish, it's not going to happen. Goals don't get accomplished if you divert from the path you're supposed to be on. So focus, determination, and resistance. So yeah. Anybody else?
Writing on the bathroom walls and not being able to say it to the person's face. Like they just write blah 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 is whatever, and that's that, and then they don't even they don't even confront me about it or anything.
Yeah.
And it's dumb and it's annoying.
I hear you, girl. So about that, people writing on bathroom walls, saying bad things about you and not saying it to you in your face, the more you give that person attention, the more they're gonna do stuff like that. So sometimes when you see things like that, like I said, you just have to know who you are as a person. You know the truth, you know who you are, and you don't need anybody to tell you, okay, you're such and such on a bathroom wall. Sometimes you just have to ignore it and let it go.
People need to stop smoking in the bathroom.
If anyone knows of something like that happening, if you're friends with that person or you know they're friends, I mean, just going to them and talking to them and just kind of warning them and just letting them know, that, maybe you shouldn't be doing things like that. Don't ever be afraid to talk to someone or to confront them. Like, you don't have to be rude about it. You just go up to people and just be honest and talk to them and just kind of warn them, or tell somebody, tell a teacher, just let them know what's going on, because that shouldn't be in school. No, none of you guys should be doing that. It's bad. It's very, very bad. Drugs are bad, I'm telling you. They fry your brain. Drugs fry your brain. And you guys should be focused on making good grades, get into a good college.
I feel like with pregnancy, the point to that was that girls who end up getting pregnant, you shouldn't bully them for being pregnant because it's not your business. Like, if so-and-so has a baby, that's their problem. You don't go saying, oh, well, ew, that's so gross or whatever.
If someone is pregnant, I agree with you, girl. Right, what's your name, girl? Amber? Right on, Amber. You rock, girl. If someone is pregnant in school, it is true. You shouldn't pick on them. Whether they decided to do that or if it was a mistake or if it's something that they didn't want to happen and it happened, you should never bully someone for something like that. If they're being responsible, even if they're not being responsible, you should kind of just keep your comments to yourself, because you never know how you're going to affect somebody else.
I was harassed back in middle school, sexual harassment, and I find it hard because I was so insecure about it, and they were telling me I'm their sex toy and everything like that, so I'm still insecure about that.
You're still insecure because someone was sexually harassing you in middle school or?
Middle school.
Middle school. And this is like recent?
It was in 7th grade, but I still hold it to me.
How did that make you feel? I mean, how does that make you feel?
I'm still self-conscious about things I do and how I dress, and it's just, like, it's hard for me because I can't, like, there's some things I want to do, and there's, like, to the point where I don't want to do it because I feel like I'm going to be judged, and that's going to happen again.
Well, it's not your fault. Like, it's not your fault that somebody did that. I would say, like, just block it out, you know, and over time it'll get better. Like, things really do get better. Like, when I was in high school, like, being picked on, it never feels good. And for someone who's really, really sensitive and insecure, you know, like, at this age, you guys are learning so much and you're still growing. And, like, I was so shy when I was a freshman. I was so insecure. Like, I wasn't the best dressed person. My hair wasn't always nice. But, you know, I was who I was. And you just have to embrace yourself and love yourself and surround yourself around people who love you. And all those other things will just slowly just be in the back of your head, and over time it'll get better if you just keep yourself around people who are your friends, because that's all that matters. You have people around you who love you and support you and who are kind to you. All the other people, that it just doesn't matter.
Back to the bullying, because
Bullying.
I have two friends that they're really big and intimidating, but like they have like like because they're big and intimidating and they look intimidating, like they're really nice people once you get to know them, but people assuming that they're a bully, and that really causes some discrepancies in their day because they don't want to talk about any they don't want to
Wait, one second. They don't
want to talk to anybody because they're going to assume, like, oh, I'm scared of him because he's big or he looks mean. So,
Are you their friends?
yeah.
That's all they need. They have friends. It doesn't matter.
I'm their only friend.
You're their only friend.
Yeah.
Do you tell people how nice they are?
I try to, but it's like, nah, I'm not going to listen to you because I don't want to get beat up or thrown in
How
the
does
trash.
that make them feel?
It feels bad.
They feel bad? They want more friends?
Yeah, but they're too big. So
They're too big.
people fear, because they walk around angry all the time because, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but once you get to know these people.
But they're not mean. They're just judged.
They're just, yeah.
I get it. I was kind of judged too. Like, I didn't have many friends, but as long as you have your circle, like, you don't have to try to gain someone's approval. You know, sometimes we try to gain people's approval, or we want to, like, hang out with this clique because we feel like our clique is kind of like, oh, it's just us, and we want to be popular. Wait 1 second, guys. 1 second. Who here sometimes feels like they want acceptance from, like, other groups? I'm sure at some point we don't feel accepted, but like I said, over time it gets better. It really does get better. Like, if you try to just mingle with people and just show them your heart, like, it'll get better. But it doesn't matter if people, like, don't want to be your friend. You shouldn't try to, like, want approval or acceptance from anybody. As long as you accept yourself, like, everything just kind of works out. Usually the energy you put out is the energy you get back. So if you want people to be your friend, befriend people. If you want people to give you more hugs or more, like, high fives, give people more high fives. If you want compliments, say, hey, I like your shoes. Hey, I like your hair. And you'll slowly start to realize, 1 second, y'all, 1 second. You'll slowly start to realize the more you give out, the more you get back. So if you want people to be kind to you and to respect you, respect people, be kind to them, and you'll see more of that. Right here.
I love how there was this one girl on the news, and I heard that she dedicated 9 months of her life to pretend that she was pregnant, and she got affected. Like, everybody was bullying her because of that, and I didn't think that was really fair. And so when people found out that it was like it was pretend, they, like, treated her, like, kind of back to normal, and she didn't like that. So I don't think it's fair. When somebody's pregnant, they already get enough from their family and everything, so I don't think that it should, like, they should be bullied. I've heard so many people that because of their gay or lesbian or whatever, they get picked on and they go suicidal, and I don't think that's cool.
That is yeah, let's give it up for her. That is a big thing too. There's a lot of people nowadays, like, because they're being bullied, it makes them really depressed, and they start having suicidal thoughts, and they want to commit suicide. And it just goes to show you how much of an importance it is to be kind to people. You know, you can't control the way people act to you, but what you can control is your mindset, and you can control who you hang out with. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna accept you. But there are a few people, or maybe a big crowd that might accept you, and those are the people you focus on. You don't focus on the people who don't like you, because not everybody in this world is gonna like you. I was on American Idol, and I would go on the website and like look at pictures, and every so often I would just like scroll down, and I would see like these bad comments, people just saying mean things, and they didn't even have to be true. Like, they don't even know me. They don't know me, and they just were saying mean things. But you know what I did? I avoided it. I stopped looking at it. You know, your friend, she can't control what other people think about her, but she has to be strong and know within herself that it doesn't matter what other people think. It's just their opinion, and it has nothing to do with her. I got 6 minutes. I just want to say that I love y'all. And this, like, in all seriousness, like, the bullying thing, it's a really big deal. Like, over 30% of students in high school, elementary school, middle schools are affected by bullying, whether it's physical or verbal. And it's just so important to surround yourself around people who accept you. Like I said, not everybody's gonna like you. You're gonna have your haters, but the more you give your attention to those people, the more they're gonna attack you. Like, you have to just ignore it. Tell somebody who you trust. If you feel like you're being threatened, if your life is in danger, you really have to go speak out and tell somebody. And if you feel like you can handle it without being, confrontational, just go up to the person and be honest and let them know from your heart how you feel and how they're affecting you. And you never know, they might end up breaking down because they're going through something. So just always be aware of the things you say to people, because you never know what somebody is going through.
What if you give them respect but they don't give it back to you?
Like, can you elaborate on that? Like, is it just verbal? Like, if it's someone, like, you're walking in the hallway and you're going to your locker and you, like, kind of smile, you say, hey, and someone's like, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Like that? Okay, how would that make somebody feel? If someone's just like, Like, would you feel bad? Like, who would feel bad if, okay. See, not everybody's different. Some people are like, whatever, like, I don't care, you don't got to say hi to me, I ain't gonna say hi to you no more. And then some people are like, man, that really hurt my feelings. It just depends on who you are. So if you're sensitive, like me, I'm very sensitive. If you're sensitive, you'd be like, hey, like, are you cool? Like, is everything okay? Like, did I do something to you? Like, I'm sorry, I just want to, I'm just trying to be, I'm trying to be kind. Maybe that might help, just talking to them. Like, we're all human. We all have bad days. We all go through things. And sometimes the best way to just confront somebody is just going up to them and just telling them how you feel. You feel me?
This would be your last one.
Okay, last question.
Okay, I feel that too many people worry about I feel that other people worry about too many people too much. Like, they need to worry about themselves.
That's true. But we are all different, Not one human is alike,
That's why, I feel that other people should worry about, they're cool, then they should be cool. If anybody else thinks like, oh, you're not, it shouldn't matter. You should be more, more up to yourself than worry about what other people think.
Yeah, it is true. Sometimes people find it hard to block out negative comments. Sometimes it can make you depressed, it can make you sad. That's why I said, we've all been a bully at some point in our lives, we probably all have bullied someone, whether it's like giving someone a mean look, physically, or just like saying mean things. It's not writing on the bathroom wall, whatever it is, just being rude to somebody. So that's why it's important to just respect people, because if you give respect, you get respect back. All right. I don't know what to sing. I got 2 minutes. Okay. I hope I remember it, Laser. Okay. I'm gonna sing it soft because I'm tired. My voice is a little. Okay. I was born by the river in a little tin, and no, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it is. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's out there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change gon' come. Yes, I know change gonna come. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I guess this is it. I really hope something I said, oh, I love you too, baby, okay. I really hope something I said sunk in some kind of way for you guys. Yeah, if you guys ever need someone to talk to, just Twitter. No, I'm really serious about this. Twitter me or Facebook me. Like, I actually read my messages. So if you guys ever feel like, oh my gosh, like I have a situation, you know, like I'm here for you guys. I'm from the same hood y'all from. Yes, I love you all. Please be mindful of how you treat people, because you never know who you're talking to. You never know. All right, bye guys.